Hey guys, Stephanie Paxton here with the RoPax Group, and today we're going to be discussing the 5 pros and 5 cons to living in Alamo Heights. So let's jump right in. Pro number 1, location, location, location. Now I know you hear that term a lot in real estate, but Alamo Heights truly is one of the best locations in San Antonio. You're 4.5 miles from downtown, less than 3 miles to the Pearl District. You're also close to 281, which is a major vein going north and south through San Antonio. And you've got I-10 close by, Loop 410 close by, and you're also close to 35. So it's very easy access to get to where you need to be in San Antonio. We also have very close proximity to San Antonio International Airport, Fort Sam Houston, and we have plenty of business centers and some of the best museums in San Antonio. Pro number 2 is there is so much to do in Alamo Heights. We have the McNay Art Museum, we have the Children's Dozium, the San Antonio Zoo, Breckenridge Park. We also have a nature preserve if you're into bird watching or just want to go relax. We have the Japanese tea gardens not too far. If you want to bike and hike, you can go to the Almost Basin. We have Alamo Heights Bark Park for the fur kids. If you're into golfing, we also have the golf course, the Quarry Golf Course. And if you're into shopping, we have the Quarry Market, which is great because there's a lot of great shops there, restaurants there, and it's right there in your backyard. We also have a movie theater there. So there's so much to do right there in Alamo Heights. And if you don't mind traveling a little bit and you want to go 4.5 miles downtown, you could see plays. They have the Tobin, Majestic, this great areas to go see plays or the symphony. You can also go to the AT&T Center where there's headline concerts, and we have our San Antonio Spurs plays there as well, so that's awesome. And then my ultimate favorite is the Pearl District, which has Hotel Emma, our 5-star diamond hotel. It's a great, beautiful hotel just to go walk around, see the architecture there, and you can see we have a farmer's market there on the weekends. And of course, we cannot forget to mention our food scene here. It's become very diverse thanks to the CIA that is also located at the Pearl District. And we have everything from your typical tacos, Tex-Mex, all the way to your elevated cuisine, which is really fun. And I'll have another video just on our food scene here. But yes, it's fabulous. And then of course, our touristy stuff is super close by as well. So you're not too far if you want to go to the Alamo, and if you wanted to go down to the Riverwalk, if you have guests in town that you want to entertain. And there's also lots of bike trails. You can even head down to the Missions if you would like from Southtown. So there's so much to do close to Alamo Heights, and I think that's one of the main reasons why people love to be there. Let's jump into pro number 3, the community. The community of Alamo Heights is very inviting, and it's its own municipality, so it has its own fire department and its own police department, which gives the community a very secure feel, and that's why you see people walking outside, out with their kids and families. That's one great thing about Alamo Heights. And it is a very community-driven area, which people get very plugged in. There's a lot to do. If you're not part of the San Antonio Country Club and you just want to get into a small group, there's always political groups to be a part of, different denominations of church groups to be a part of. So there's always a place for you to connect and plug in. Did you say something about the Alamo Heights School District? Yes, they are the #1 independent school district in San Antonio, nationally ranked. And did you know that they had academically, they had a 95% student college-bound rate? So yes, it is very competitive, but you know what they say, iron sharpens iron. And you know what? They have a heck of an athletics department as well. So pro number 4 is definitely the Alamo Heights School District. Pro number 5 is definitely the character and charm of the homes in Alamo Heights. you have to imagine that most of these homes were built in the early 20th century, and there's everything from your charming cottage all the way to your massive luxury estates and Mediterranean manners. Now, a lot of these streets are just beautiful because they're lined with these gorgeous trees. Some of these homes that were older have been since taken down, and there's a lot of new construction in the area, but a lot of the older homes have been lovingly restored back to their original state. So it's really fun to just drive through and see the diversity of all the homes and areas in Alamo Heights. Let's get to the cons. I mean, if there are any cons to living in Alamo Heights, I would say con number one is the international airport. Now, this could be a pro if you like to travel or perhaps own a plane, but otherwise you are in the flight path, you are going to hear some airplane noise. The city did give a large noise abatement a few years back that provided a lot of the homeowners with new windows to drown out the noise, but you are going to hear some noise. It's just the way it is. But I will say it is a small trade-off for all the other great things that you gain being in Alamo Heights. And to be honest, you really do get used to the noise. It's kind of like white noise after a while, so it really isn't that big of an issue. It might just take a few weeks to get used to. Con number two is definitely the shifty soil. So Alamo Heights and Terrell Hills are right next to each other, and they call Terrell Hills Terrible Hills because of the soil issues that we have in the area. So with the heat and the rain, the contraction and the compression of the soil tends to bring out some cracks and shifting and movement in the elevations of the house. So if you are going to buy a house in one of these areas, I would highly recommend having a structural engineer come out. And in Texas, if you're going to have a hydrostatic test to check out the pipes underneath the house, you have to have permission. So you definitely want to negotiate that in your contract and make sure that you can get a camera down there and as well to make sure the health of your pipes is good. If you're seeing some movement on top of the soil, there's probably movement underneath the soil. So definitely have that structural engineer come out and just understand that there's going to be more maintenance and there's no perfect house. You're going to see some aesthetic issues like some cracks and some shifting and changing, and that's just part of the character of having a home in Alamo Heights and Terrell Hills. Con number three is the property taxes. So Alamo Heights is incorporated, even though it's technically in the city limits of San Antonio, it is incorporated, so they're not required to pay San Antonio's high property taxes. Because Alamo Heights is so desirable, their prices tend to be higher, so it appears as though you're paying more in taxes, but the San Antonio average is 55 cents per $100, and in Alamo Heights, it's actually 38 cents per $100. So even though it appears like you're paying more taxes, it's actually less than the San Antonio average. Con number four would definitely be that most of the homes in Alamo Heights are older. If you're not in a newer constructed home, the older homes, they just cost more to maintain. So you have to understand when they were built, they weren't built up to today's standards, so they don't have the insulation. Maybe somebody went in there and restored them and put that in, but you're still not going to get the energy efficiencies that you would in a newer home. So the cost of maintaining one of these homes is going to be a little bit more expensive, and also your energy costs are going to be more expensive in one of these homes than in one of our newer homes here in San Antonio. So that is definitely a con for one of our beautiful houses in Alamo Heights, is they do cost more to maintain, and you're going to want to factor that into your budget when you purchase one of these homes. Con number five is the home prices in Alamo Heights are definitely higher than the rest of the city. If you think about the desirability and the location, a lot of people want to live there. It brings a supply and demand issue. So because there's not a lot of turnover, people live there for a long time, there is low supply and high demand, which keeps the prices high. And so the median price point in Alamo Heights is the mid 500s, and when you're looking around the rest of San Antonio, it's the high 200s. So it is definitely one of San Antonio's more expensive places to live. Thank you so much for watching my video on my 5 pros and 5 cons of living in Alamo Heights. And if you have any questions about Alamo Heights or the surrounding communities like Terrell Hills, Alamos Park, Mankey Park, Northridge, any of those areas, please feel free to give me a call. My number is 210-325-9595. My name is Stephanie Paxton. I am a licensed real estate agent at Portfolio Alamo Heights, and we would love to take you for a tour of our beautiful city, as well as answer any questions that you may have. And if you're thinking about moving to San Antonio, please give us a call. If we can't help you in our area, we can definitely hook you up with a great agent in the other areas that may be able to serve you and find you exactly what you're looking for. Thanks so much for watching.